Welcome to episode 25 of the Beyond the Sidelines podcast. I'm Finn Morton, and what an episode we have for you guys today. This week, we sat down with the new member of the NFL International Player Pathway Program and Iowa State Cyclone, Matt Leo. We also talked about Latrell Mitchell's contract saga ending, finally putting pen to paper and signing with the South Sydney Rabbitohs, as well as talking about LSU's big win over Clemson. Let's get it.
There's scenes here at Perry Park.
Chris Lynn has taken the wild thing and sent him.
Oh, Bateman! Yeah!
Joining me this week, as always, the full contingent is back in studio. Gusman is back from his cruise. How was that, mate?
Oh, as cruise goes,
Terrible?
Terrible.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say it's terrible. I just wouldn't do it again.
Okay,
My man.
I haven't introduced you yet, Campbell, so wait your turn.
Sorry,
but
my bad.
I'll do that now. Campbell Johnson.
Thank you.
Happy birthday for Friday.
Oh, cheers, mate. That's today, technically.
Yeah, it is today.
On the day of release.
Sure. And,
Thank you. Celebrate it.
What are your plans for the big day?
Well, tomorrow we're going to bowls. We'll go roll a few stones around. You boys are coming. Gussie's going to be wearing his cheerleader outfit.
Yep.
So that'll be good to see.
I didn't know it was a free dress party until about a few hours ago. So now they're forcing me to wear that, and I don't know how confident I'll be in that.
Hey, if you own it, it exudes confidence.
Confidence. Sound it out. Enunciate it.
Confidence, unlike my ability to enunciate.
I don't know. Well, I feel more for the people around me. They're going to have to see it.
That's me, mate.
And lawn bowls is a very revealing sport.
Hey, mate, I'll tell you what. Couldn't wish for a better birthday present.
Jesus, mate. Come on.
Let's move on.
Anyway, on that note, let's jump straight into the Fast Five. That's 5 topics, 1 minute each, or at least we try and keep it to 1 minute.
Yeah, sometimes we go over.
Okay,
but
you want to host this week then, or
no? I'm just saying sometimes we go over.
Boys, settle down.
I'm just saying, it's Finn's week.
It's Finn's week.
It's your birthday. You get your day.
But it's my week.
But it's my week. Anyway, let's start off with number 1. Melbourne victory, sacking Marco Kurtz after 13 games. The victory been well under par this season. Campbell, they're your boys, mate.
They are my boys.
How do you feel?
I think it's a fair kind of sacking. I think if your head coach, if your manager's not really performing, I think it's the right time to get out. Maybe, how long have we got left in the season? Do we know?
We're about halfway through.
Yeah.
Okay, so probably a good time. I mean,
15 weeks.
Thing is, do you really want to sack your coach in the middle of the season when you can't get relegated? If you can get relegated, I'm like, yep, change instantly. Otherwise, it's a little bit too much chaos in a season where it basically is just a throwaway.
Well, they've brought in a caretaker coach now. I think it's the assistant stepping up. I can't tell you his name.
That's pretty common, yeah.
And it is common, but they aren't making a significant change.
No.
So why not just
It'll be the same system.
Why not just keep Kurtz?
I mean, look, they're only in 6th place on the A-League ladder. And we
6
know
out of 11.
Yeah. Well, we know how quickly it changes in an A-League competition. You just need to win a few games in a row, and then you're right back up there. I mean, look at Wellington. They were down the bottom at the start
Wellington,
of the year.
mate. We'll talk about that later. But on that, actually, their match last week, we will talk about it later, but it was absolutely insane. One of the best A-League games ever. Number 2, Gusman, right up your alley, Latrell Mitchell, signing for South Sydney. Good move for him. Leaving the Roosters, leaving Bondi. Good to get out.
No, I'm not happy. But, look, he was... I don't think he's the best person to have around your club. It seems as though he's a little bit of a...
You seemed pretty happy with him last year, mate.
Yeah, of course, because he won us a premiership. But I mean,
2.
he seems like 2 premierships. He seems like a lot of work for a guy who has got a lot of talent, but, is it worth it? And the kind of money he was asking from the Roosters, he was asking...
Well, that's not really the problem with you guys.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, they don't have a salary cap. They're blessed with that.
Yeah, that's funny, mate.
But it's what he said about the Tigers that really got me.
Yeah.
I would have regretted the Tigers deal.
Yeah.
How blunt is that? Well,
the
Tigers, they were offering him $1 million a year.
He's taken half of that to go to South.
Exactly.
But he's ironed out a 2-year deal with a club option for the 2021 season. So that means that it's first year is $600,000 a year, and then the second year, Souths have the option to boost that contract, which I think they probably will. Latrell
He'll probably ask for
I'll
it.
tell you what, with Jai Arrow coming in, they'll be pretty tough to beat in 2021.
They're a well-run club too, so
they are. Yeah. And apparently Latrell's locked in that number 1 jersey, beating Alex Johnston. So and Greg Inglis there too. There's that Indigenous link. So that's
the whole back line. If you look at it, you got Adam Reynolds, Latrell Mitchell, Cody Walker, James Roberts.
Yeah.
Pretty much all of them. Adam Dewey as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you
Dane
go.
Gagai.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what I said.
But
And
will he
no
stay
one-
there? Or will the salary cap?
I think
push someone out.
Adam Dewey's on his way out.
There you go.
That's
Interesting.
the go.
Anyway, back to NFL. Luke Kuechly forced to retire concussions. Concussions, fellas. That's not exactly a small issue in world sport at the moment. It's quite prominent, quite large, and I think he's one of 6 players in the last 3 years or so to have retired in the NFL who's under the age of 30 because of concussions.
Yeah.
So
Calvin Johnson was a big one back in the day.
Gronk.
Yeah. Gussie, have you ever had any concussions?
I have against.
It shows.
Who was it? Who was it against? I can't remember.
Well, yeah.
Well, you're not Luke Kuechly, but
was that a joke? Was that an attempt at humour?
It was meant to be a joke.
I find that interesting, though.
Yeah, no, I've had plenty of concussions in the GPS, but this is really bad. It's forced Luke Kuechly to retire.
I'll tell you what. You have Luke Kuechly, age 28, Rob Gronkowski, 29, Andrew Luck, also 29, Cam Chancellor, 30, and Calvin Johnson, 30.
Was Andrew Luck from CTE?
I don't think it was CTE.
It was just an early injury.
He did talk about CTE, I think, a bit, though. It wasn't
I feel like that would have been more of his body because he did have a big-time shoulder injury before that.
Exactly. He was just knocked around with that O-line.
Well, I was reading up on a Boston University study.
Boston College?
Nah,
Boston University.
Northeast.
Luke Kuechly went to Boston College, didn't he?
And they...
Sure.
I think he did.
Anyway, does he keep going?
They analysed the brains of 111 deceased NFL players and found CTE in 110 of them.
Exactly. No,
so it's clear proof that it's there.
It's a massive issue, not just in the NFL. Boston College, Campbell's nodding his head.
Luke Kuechly went to Boston College.
It's a massive issue, not just in the NFL, but I guess in world sport at the moment.
Exactly.
Last year we saw James Graham, and there was one other NRL player.
Luke Keary did.
Was it Keary?
Yeah, he donated.
He hasn't donated it yet, mate.
He's not dead yet.
To have donated.
Well, I mean, it's a league brain, so how much can be in there, honestly?
And on that note, let's jump on.
Oh my God.
AB de Villiers touching down in Brisneyland. Let's put that on a T-shirt. Playing his first game, and he scored a pretty convincing 40.
Yeah.
Well, he had 4 runs off his first shot in the BBL.
Did.
Good cover drive too.
Yeah.
Good cover drive.
Beautiful shot.
But can AB deliver a title to Brisneyland?
I think he's one of those players that, we've been talking about it for weeks of who in that side can build an innings. And I think he can. And he came into the game, obviously, they did sensational in the field. He wasn't really expected to do much. James Patterson with the Michelle. He wasn't really expected to do much. The openers were, I believe, Chris Lynn and someone else. Chris Lynn got out for a duck. I can't remember who it was.
Well, I mean,
maybe Joe Burns.
The Brisbane Heat innings has really relied on Matthew Renshaw a lot so far in this competition.
He's been very good. Had a renaissance.
Well, he's sort of like a de Villiers kind of player. He builds an innings.
He's a bit more tame,
he's not as good at it as de Villiers. And
he's younger.
I feel like de Villiers at the other end will really help Matthew Renshaw's progression in this tournament.
I think his pace, because that's one thing that Matt Renshaw is renowned for, and he's kind of proved people a little bit wrong in that this season.
Yeah.
He's kind of known as the slow kind of player, but he's really picked it up.
Well, it kind of annoyed me, Chris Lynn. Early, like a duck, first ball duck. That's how he plays. He doesn't really read the situation, does he? He just goes out and whacks any ball that comes to him.
I think he just wanted to get to Tucker. He wanted to go home and have dinner.
Basically,
really.
It was a good arvo in Brisbane.
He was like, I only need to make 110.
Pretty hot out in the middle, so
he was
can't really
early shower.
Anyway, back to gridiron. LSU, big win over Clemson.
Tigers beating Tigers.
I was pretty surprised by this, actually. I
wasn't.
No,
they've been dominant in the playoffs in the whole season.
Joe Burrow's been absolutely insane. He's
crazy.
Really built during the season.
Future first round pick.
He will be. He'll
go into the
future
Bengals.
number 1
pick.
pick.
Your vote, boys, Gusman. But 15-0, LSU finish. And Clemson, something about them.
It's one of the most outstanding seasons ever. Justin Jefferson, wide receiver, has had a crazy season. He'll be a top pick in the next year or so.
Well, I mean, they beat a Clemson side that hadn't been beaten in 2 years.
Yeah.
And they've been insane for the past 5-10 years as well as a program.
They smashed them as well. Actually, this is a big win.
Well, that's the thing, Campbell. It's their program.
Yeah.
And I think for me, when they've got to be favourites. They were ranked outsiders going into this match, but again, I just thought something about that orange uniform.
Yeah, but the story of Joe Burrow as well, coming over from, I believe, he's an Ohio boy, so he'll fit well in Cincinnati. Yeah. Came over from Ohio State, wasn't really getting a game. They have Justin Fields, I believe, at the moment. Oh, no, they have someone else. Justin Fields. They brought him over. He wasn't really getting a game. Went to LSU, and now he's had one of the most incredible seasons for a quarterback we've seen. And, he's earned that number 1 pick.
And have you seen that photo of him smoking that cigar?
No, I haven't. That's awesome.
It's one of the best college photos.
That's very Louisiana.
Yeah. It is, but it's just like a very cool photo. Yeah, I guess let's put it that way. Anyway, that's the end of our Fast Five for another week. sad times, I know. But leading into this interview, Matt Leo, he's part of that international program, the same program that Jordan Mailata and the well-known Valentine Holmes were part of. So he's in good company, I guess. But you can listen to what he had to say right now. Joining us on the phone is NFL International Player Pathway Program member Matt Leo. Matt, firstly, how are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm glad to be back in Australian soil.
Of course. And you've just been announced as being part of that pathway program, same pathway as Jordan Mailata and, of course, Valentine Holmes. How did you find out about it, and where were you?
So at the time, I had one of the directing of the NFL International Program. He contacted me, I think it was about February, just shooting an email at me, asking a little bit of questions of how my season went and what are my thoughts after my last senior year of football. And that's where it kind of really started. So
you don't have to go to like combines or anything. It's an interview process and nominating film, I guess?
Yes, sir. It's basically an opportunity for international guys to get their foot in the door at a chance to play in the NFL without that risk of being cut, on a practice squad or, in the first few weeks of training camp. So it really does give that breathing room for someone, internationally to get an opportunity to play in the high league.
And you mentioned your senior season. That was at the Iowa State Cyclones. You had 1 sack in the season. How do you feel you went overall?
It's never like I set my goals high. It's me as an individual. I just always strive to want to be the best. We run a 3-man defense, a 3-front, which it makes it harder for the D-line to make plays such as sacks or tackles for loss as we are taking on double teams. So that doing that in terms, it gives the opportunity for linebackers to come in and to really shock the system and to make plays in the backfield as we take on the double teams. But it is an opportunity for our team to continuously benefit. So I'm happy to do my role and responsibility every week in and out.
And how have you found that transition into gridiron, as we call it, down under? Has it been a bit of a shock or hard to get your head around?
Yeah, without a doubt, it is a game that really should be appreciated. There's so much detail to it. I kind of I explain it as chess almost. It's a game of timing as well. I always thought that I'd come in and just my physical presence and speed would make up for anything that I didn't have talent-wise, but it was definitely not the case, and I learned that in junior college pretty quick.
Well, you were coached by Tim Minnick in your first year over there. What did he teach you to help improve your gridiron game?
Yeah, well, I was fortunate to have Tom Minnick and a lot of other guys who were bounce backs from D1s, like Jonathan Combo, who went to Tennessee, and 2 other players have now moved on to either South Carolina, like Keyshawn Nixon. They really just invested time into me. They knew I was fresh, they knew I was dedicated to it and persistent, so they had nothing but time and patience to just teach me the game.
Well, staying on the coach trend, at Iowa State you did have your head coach as Matt Campbell. How important was he to your development?
He was the absolute key to my success. He is the reason I committed to Iowa State. He is the reason for a lot of things. I look up to him in so many ways, not just on the field but off the field. He is just the definition of a coach, relationship between players, and I trusted him. And I trusted his vision, of Iowa State and turning them from a 3-winning season to a bowl game winning season the past 3 years. So he is by far an incredible human being on and off the field.
Well, why did you decide to choose Iowa State over the other colleges like Arizona, Oklahoma, or Mississippi State?
It was simply to do with the coaching staff. I had taken my first official visit, which happened to be Iowa State. I'd done unofficials through Arizona, but my first official visit was Iowa State. And, having the coaching staff like Coach Campbell and then Eli Rashid, which was my defensive line coach, just the respect and love they showed me. They welcomed me into their families. They treated me like a human being, not just an athlete, as well as they showed me the love without pressuring me to commit. A few weeks later, I took my official visit to Oklahoma, and honestly, my heart and gut was kind of telling me it was Iowa State already. And although, I didn't see myself living in the snow of Iowa, or, I didn't even know where Iowa was, on the map, but I trusted the path that Coach Campbell was leading and his culture, and that's what I entrusted in.
Well, somewhere where there is a lack of snow for sure is Adelaide. That's obviously where you grew up, and you played a lot of rugby there. Were there any similarities between that sport and, I guess, gridiron?
Well, yeah, I grew up playing rugby at Port Adelaide, and then Aussie rules in high school. But it was just the fact that I enjoyed hitting people, as in tackling, but within the sports lines.
Yeah.
I enjoyed just wrapping up and just being physical. So to get the opportunity to do that as a career, and have the opportunity to put some helmets and pads on and do it as hard as I can within the whistle, it was a dream come true for me.
But how did gridiron come about for you? Was it something you always were interested in and wanted to play?
It's something that I would see on TV, and I dreamt of it. Never knew about it. I thought to myself, I wish I grew up in the US and, went to high school like all those movies you see where, the high school kid plays football and he's a star athlete and he goes to do a Division I and to the NFL. But I knew that I wasn't in that country. So I remember going to my trade school and I was a first-year plumber. And I saw on the TV, it was a Super Bowl between Ravens and San Francisco 49ers. And I remember just clearly thinking to myself, I would do anything to have that opportunity. And then when I worked on the Adelaide Oval Bridge connecting from the Convention Centre to Adelaide Oval, I was working with a tradesman, and I was a fourth-year plumber. And it was a 40-degree day under the sun. And I explained to him, I was like, why am I doing this? I said, I should be playing sports still. And I said, I don't know what I want to play or what I want to do, but I just know I should be doing something. And he just happened to be a massive football buff and loved football, American football, college football, everything. But he had heard and read in the paper that there was an Australian punter that went over through, I think it was Pro Kick, and had the opportunity to go to a Division II school under scholarship. And that was enough said. I said, please, let's hunt this guy down that helped him to get over there, and I want to do it. And then 2 weeks later, we finally got in contact with that guy, and I got the ball moving, and hassled him until he gave me some answers.
Wow. And, Pro Kick are doing great things, but firstly for you, how big of a leap of faith was that, going over from a secure job over to the unknown? Yes.
I mean, it was by far the most unsettling thing I've ever done in my life. I've never been that type to go out of my comfort zone that much. I keep my head down and I work, but I never had ever done something so big in my life, to just move my life over to a country that I've never been and to play a sport that I've never even played. But I trusted my love for it and my abilities to give it a shot, and I could hold my head high if I didn't work out. And, I just didn't want to live a life with regret, thinking, what if?
That's awesome, man. And moving on to this Player Pathway program again, what does that entail? So what's the commitment like? Because it's a full-time gig, right?
Yes, sir. So it's so we're obviously training for the Pro Day, which my Iowa State Pro Day will be March 24th. So we'll be training in IMG, which is in Tampa Bay, and that will be over the 6 to 8 week period, where we train up there and get ready for your normal stuff that a lot of facilities do, like exos, bomberines, A1 and stuff, which obviously help athletes to get better at verticals, broad jumps, 40-yard dash, and that gives them the ability to perform on their pro days at a high level.
And IMG Academy, they have some excellent facilities, some crazy facilities, and I'm sure you're used to it at Iowa State and stuff like that, but how keen are you for this whole experience, this whole ride, potentially getting drafted? How excited are you for this?
Words can't even describe. It is absolute dream to even just be a part of this program, to be chosen out of the top 10. I was just blown away, and it's something that I can't stop thinking about. I'm ready to get over to the US again and get to work. So this visa stuff is definitely something, now that it's squared away, my mind is on the mission, and I just want to get to work and really deliver, and not just for Australia and Adelaide, but just for everyone that's helped me to get to where I am now.
Well, how have you found living over in the States? You've been doing it a few years now. How have you found that whole experience?
It's definitely. I started at the rocky end of the mountain, and worked my way up. Going to a junior college that was 10 minutes out from Mexico in a little small town in Arizona. It was so hard to leave my comfort zone and go to a foreign country and play there. But then once I moved to a D1 and played under the lights of a Division 1, it only got easier and my dreams got clearer.
Well, what was the college experience like for you? Did you enjoy it?
Words can't describe it in here. I mean, a lot of people don't even get to experience it or even fathom how big Division 1 college football is in the United States. It's a lifestyle. It's a dream. Like, you have these tailgates where you see 50,000 people in the parking lot, and then you go into the stadium, it'll be a full house, 110,000. I remember playing in Texas Longhorn Stadium last year. It is just unreal. It feels like a movie.
Well, what's the culture like in that Iowa State side?
It's close. It's the closest team I've ever been on in my entire life. Not just relationships, but just growth. Everyone, there was no ego, and that's, I feel, was the biggest thing that I loved about the team. I'm all about helping my brother beside me and wanting to play for a team where we all respect each other and we're all goal driven. It was just, the culture was definitely changed through Matt Campbell and the seniors and the previous seniors before that. So it is definitely a one-of-a-kind school and college.
It certainly is. And what do you think for you personally will be the biggest step up from that Iowa State locker room to the NFL if you get there, or when you get there?
Yeah. It's, it's taking it to the next level with my game and everything, going from a 3-man front defense now to the NFL run a 4-man front. I really get to showcase my abilities of, how I move now, how I play the man or run, pass, whatever. I get to now just express my abilities, on a 1-man instead of, how we run that 3-man front. So I'm excited to have a different opportunity and just, take it with 2 hands, man, and try to kill it.
And Matt, just second last question, mate. Gridiron in Australia, it's not the biggest, but there are clubs around. And just want to know, why should kids sign up and play Gridiron?
If you have a love for the game and, you have a dream, then I tell every single person that I speak to or whoever DMs me, a kid, even if it's in a different city, that chase it. If you have that love for that game, it's there. So I want to help build that window to make it easier for kids or teenagers or whoever who wants the opportunity to play, American football, gridiron, to take it on, because it's there, but I feel like it's just a little bit harder for us to be in Australia.
Definitely. And last question, why should teams take you either at the draft or in free agency? I am a player that, I take pride in everything that I do on and off the field. I would like to say that I'm a hard worker that is dedicated, and I can be counted on. I'm reliable, persistent. I may not be the most talented and have the most, highest IQ in the football or in the meeting room or the film room, but I'm persistent. I will continuously work until I make it happen. So that's just one thing that that a character trait that I know I can proudly, stand for, is that I'm just persistent. Well, that's awesome, man. Well, thank you for joining us. And again, congratulations and best of luck for this very exciting opportunity going forward. And go enjoy those wings, eh?
I appreciate you. Thanks a lot, guys.
Awesome.
Cheers, man.
Mate. Thank you for coming on.
Have a great night, all right?
You too.
And that was Matt Leo. Thanks again, Matt, and all the best on your pursuit of that NFL dream, never giving up. And what a great story, I might add. What an excellent story. So thanks again, Matt. Staying on the NFL, we've got 2 big games this week, gents.
It's playoff season, baby.
Playoff season, AFC and NFC title matches. Following that is the Super Bowl. 2 weeks after that, I don't like the All-Star match, the Pro Bowl.
I like it. It's just a kind of nothing thing.
I think it's awkward. Just awkwardly timed.
You saw Saquon Barkley and Ezekiel Elliott playing defense last year, which was kind of cool. They're playing linebacker.
But it's like, it doesn't
It's just in there. Like,
it's a bit of fun.
Sit in there.
I don't think it should be before the Super Bowl.
No.
I think it should be before the playoffs.
Do you think the Super Bowl should have such a big gap?
No, because, players, they're losing momentum, right?
Yeah, exactly.
you don't want to be cold, do you?
Well, they're players who aren't in the Super Bowl team, obviously.
Well, yeah.
So it's kind of like,
Oh, really?
oh, really?
Oh, really?
But it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of strange.
NFL, that's the one with the throwing and the catching, right?
I thought it was the one with the bats.
Well, I mean, you look at the college games and how they structured it. They had like a month off, didn't they?
A
Before
college
the
Pro
final.
Bowl would be sick, though.
They did. Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Well, but who would watch it, really? Because, I mean...
That's so many people would watch it.
Big names...
Because think of how many different college teams there are.
Yeah, but then who do you select? Like, do you have to select, like, a quota from each team?
No. I think it's fan selection. But then you just end up with, like, half a Clemson team, half an Alabama team.
Bama.
Yeah.
And then, like, half a
Boston College.
LSU team.
Oh,
Yeah.
Boston College.
Boston College, maybe. No, anyway. Well, speaking of the NFL, AFC, we have a bit of predictions. We haven't done this yet, and it's a bit overdue, but Angus, let's start with you, man. AFC.
Well, I look...
Chiefs-Titans.
Yeah,
Who wins?
I like the look of the Chiefs. They've been on fire all year. Probably, other than the Ravens, they were probably the standout offensive team. Patrick Mahomes is just... He's just outstanding.
Kermit the Frog himself.
He's not bad, is he?
He's not bad. He's a pretty good footballer.
Pretty much got Usain Bolt playing in every wide receiving position. Tyreek Hill's probably the fastest guy on the planet.
The cheetah.
Yep. So yeah, the Chiefs for mine, they're just... I think they'll tear them apart.
Mahomes alone, he's just...
He's so good.
You can't guard me.
No, Travis
what he's
Kelce
saying.
as well.
Every time he gets the ball, he just... Both of those two. They are, I think, one of the best combinations in the entire league. And Campbell, who's your nod?
Well, I'm going to say the Chiefs as well. I mean, they beat the Texans, who were probably one of the better teams all season, especially defensively as well as offensively. Both two of the better offensive teams.
Yep.
And they whipped them. It was 51-31.
But they also showed grit in that game, didn't they? They were
really
down
did.
24-0.
Down 24-0, yeah. It was one of the biggest, I think, comebacks in playoff history.
Actually,
And
I
they
love that. I
whacked
saw a video on Facebook. Some guy who considered himself unlucky, a Chiefs fan. He left the stadium at the end of the first quarter.
Oh my God!
Why
no
would you do
way.
that?
No, that's funny, and that's something I can resonate with. I guess I've been quite unlucky as an All Blacks fan.
Oh, poor you.
No, in terms of attending games. So
Okay.
before the World Cup, I retired, and then because of work commitments, I had to come out of retirement.
Okay.
But before that, I'd only seen the All Blacks win once out of 5 matches.
Yeah.
This is the most successful team in sports history.
Yeah.
And their one win was a try after the siren. So there you go.
You're a bit of a bad
it's a
luck
good
charm,
team.
aren't
I
you?
do like the Titans, though. Can we give a mention?
Well, I was
To the
about to say
Titans.
that again. I'm going with the Chiefs as well, but
Yeah.
Derrick Henry, he's been absolutely monstrous the last
Workhorse.
few weeks. Workhorse. Ryan Tannehill, his arm must be sore from handing it off.
Yeah, he hasn't been asked to do that much in the attack.
I think behind Mahomes, he's Lamar Jackson as well, but he's in that. He's
I don't think so.
He's a very good quarterback.
Ryan Tannehill.
Historically, no.
He's
but
been handing it off for the last 3 weeks.
The whole playoff period, he's not had to do anything.
He hasn't, but I mean, to be fair, he could still be a Super Bowl winning quarterback in a few weeks.
They've caused some awesome upsets. Who they beat first round? They beat the Pats.
Patriots.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Who did they beat after
Thanks,
that?
Campbell.
Oh, look,
They
the
beat
Pats
someone
weren't
else.
that...
Well, then last week they beat the Ravens.
That's right.
But still,
Pats-
you
I mean,
can
that's two big scalps, but
Huge
I mean,
scalps.
the Pats weren't that good.
Oh, I think
No,
they are.
they had a great
they
defense,
wouldn't-
but
No,
offensively.
but Derrick Henry, there's something about him. He just can't be stopped, but still, I think he will be this week. At least, yeah.
You reckon
But
the Chiefs will come out on top?
he won't be as rampant as what he was.
Who's your
the last few
MVP call,
weeks.
boys? Quick one. Spring this on you.
For the AFC match?
No, just in general. Whole season.
Well, I mean, I thought
Lamar
it was going to be
Jackson.
Lamar
Yeah,
Jackson.
I agree.
It's got to be. It's a
Yeah.
showing. The best running back at quarterback ever. Right?
Pretty good for a
Since
running
Michael
back.
Vick. Anyway, NFC, moving on to the other guys.
As
an AFC fan, I don't really care about this lot, but we'll mention it
I'm
anyway.
an NFC fan, so I love it.
There you go.
Best division or best conference in the league.
Is it though?
There we go.
Yeah, it definitely is.
I think it is. It's
They have the
supposed to be
highest
competitive.
winning percentage in the whole competition.
It's not even just that, but if the Patriots weren't in the AFC,
it would be terrible.
It'd be terrible. Anyway, we're not going to talk about your Seahawks, sadly, Campbell.
Don't remind me.
An absolutely dramatic and controversial loss
Yeah.
to Green Bay last week, but Green Bay are there, and they're away to San Fran this coming week. Gussie, we'll go back to you, mate.
Well,
who gets the chocolates?
I mean, Green Bay got walloped up there earlier in the year, but I like the look of Green Bay right now. Devontae Adams.
Oh, he's a beast. Aaron
look,
Jones. Aaron Jones,
a running back. He scored the most. He's almost up there in history books with touchdowns.
He's the highest
this season.
Yeah, he's
29 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, I think it's like something like 22.
Oh. Anyway, he's been outstanding. Aaron Rodgers, look, he hasn't done all that much, which should scare
He never
oppositions.
has. How's he in the GOAT debate? I don't get it.
No,
Campbell.
but I mean,
How's he in the GOAT debate?
Are you kidding me?
You're looking at me, you're stunned like a stunned mullet, but I don't get it. He's won one ring. One ring. Tom Brady's got 1, 2. Count with me, Gussie. 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 rings.
Yeah,
it's
he's
more
also-
than one
No
hand.
one's debating that Tom Brady is the GOAT.
Then why is Aaron Rodgers even in the GOAT debate?
I think he's
I
part of
never,
the GOAT
I
club.
never, I never
He's kind of
said.
a club.
I never
Yeah,
said.
it's a GOAT club.
It's not a group of the
It's a
greatest of all
herd
time.
of. It's a herd of,
Herd of goats.
goats.
I never said you can only have one goat, but the
He'll be
lead
a Hall of Fame player.
the lead goat.
Yeah, I get that, but he's not the greatest of all time.
No, he's not.
No,
Anyway, Tom Brady.
Russell
actually-
Wilson.
I was just saying that Aaron Rodgers, he hasn't played all that well this year, and
He
that
hasn't-
should scare people. That they're still winning games when he's
Yeah.
not
Well, actually-
playing 100%.
I'll say that he hasn't been like top form. He won't get back to his best. But Green Bay, all through this season, they've flown under
Sneaky.
that radar, haven't they?
They've said they like that too. I think Aaron Rodgers himself said he likes being successful under the radar because
Fair.
it means no one's game planning around you like they would have for, say, the Ravens, which have been headline. They've been,
Yeah.
you know, obviously the Ravens have probably been, over the course of the season, the hardest team to deal with all round.
Also, Matt LaFleur.
Matt LaFleur, first-year head coach.
First-year head coach. How about that?
Great.
Winning a
That's
Super
not
Bowl
bad.
in your first year.
That would
Don't
be
get ahead of yourself,
insane.
Gusman. But now he's in a final series. He's down to the final 4, versing 3 very inexperienced quarterbacks.
Mm.
That's got to play into his favour a little bit, doesn't it?
Mm.
Certainly. I mean,
Well, who is your
I'm
pick?
not- well,
Who is your pick?
I picked the Niners, but I don't know. Actually, I'm changing it last minute, Packers. I'm not convinced by the Niners
yeah, I'm
at
going
all.
Packers.
Niners, I do not like Jimmy Garoppolo as a
Bosa?
quarterback. I like Bosa, and their defense is incredible, but
Okay,
I don't like their offense enough.
I think
Well, that's disappointing because I am
And it's
going
an
the Niners.
offensive league.
And then in the Super Bowl, this is a few weeks away now. We're not going to predict the Pro Bowl because, let's face it, as I've mentioned,
who cares?
that doesn't really matter. Who cares, Gusman?
Yeah.
But Super Bowl, 54, who wins?
Green Bay Packers, baby.
Ooh,
Campbell?
interesting. Kansas City Chiefs.
And I'm going to go the 49ers. So 3 different
Ooh,
winners there.
how-
I really hope not because I'm
Yeah.
supposed to go to Dylan Bassingthwaite's for the Super Bowl.
Oh, you
and,
did not want that.
No, you don't want the Niners.
No, because I remember last year when it was a few years ago now when Jimmy G got traded to them. He was like, we're going to be the best team in the league. We're
Yeah.
going to go undefeated. And they haven't quite gone undefeated, but man, if they win it this year, if they lift that trophy, yeah. Oh, yeah, hear
bloody
about it for a
hope
long,
not.
long time.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, that's really exciting. Let's go on to something less so. Bulls Masters Cricket,
Oh,
Gus.
what do you mean?
Hey, Bulls Masters cricket. Let's put some. I know I usually bag out on it too, but it is a great competition.
It is, mate. I was just kidding, but there was some big results over the last week, Gusman, that you can tell us all about.
Well, yeah. I mean, Western Suburbs continue to be outstanding. And look, they pulled this one from the depths. Look, they were gone for all money. South Brisbane won the first innings, won it reasonably comfortable, but they choked. Got bowled out for 88 in the second innings, thanks to Blake Edwards taking 9 for 34 off 12 overs. Have you guys ever seen someone
yeah.
take 9 for 34?
Never. I saw it in the. I think didn't Glenn McGrath get like 8 for something or something
Yeah,
once?
I think Mitchell Johnson has gone 7s and 8s and stuff.
Yeah.
But when you get 9, that's
Yeah, and
pretty special.
I saw it on the Queensland Cricket Instagram, and
Yeah.
I was like, "What?"
Yeah, so
Had a
I mean,
double take.
Yeah, South Brisbane. Look, they just needed to bat, and this Blake Edwards just rips through them, and Western Suburbs were able to chase down the second innings and win the whole game. In the second game, I was watching UQ Northern Suburbs, 2 top 4 sides. UQ, of course, have been outstanding all year. Once again, they showed their dominance in this one, defeating third place Northern Suburbs at Shaw Park. Northern Suburbs just didn't score enough. Simple as that. You need to score runs.
That's how cricket works,
That's-
mate.
that's exactly-
That's how sport works,
Well,
Gussie.
exactly.
You get outscored, you don't win.
what-
That's the only stat that matters.
Thank you. You can be quiet now. 172.
Feisty one you are.
172 in
In
the
between
first.
this reference, love
Thank
it.
you.
You done?
Continue.
Yep. 172 in the first innings
Salvo.
wasn't enough.
Keep going.
Continue.
You quite done, mate?
Yep.
Or do you want to just interrupt me again?
No, you're golden.
I'm going to have a chat to you after this.
Ooh.
Okay?
I'm in trouble.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Naughty you. Go sit in the
How
corner.
dare you interrupt Bulls Masters career?
I know.
All right. Anyway, UQ chased it down in the first innings, posting 212. They got the job done again, and they are second. They are first in the 2-day cup, the Cam Battersby Cup, and first in the Damien Mullins Cup. So the overall. So they're killing it on all fronts.
Well, how much of that 2-day cup have we got left, Gusman? Because I
we're
think
almost
it's coming
at the
to a
end now.
close.
Yeah,
right?
we've got a few rounds left. And then, of course, they do finals. So they've still got to do the T20 finals, and they've still got to do the 2-day finals, I believe.
Tell you what,
I believe they have finals.
They make you work for that trophy.
Oh, they do, don't they? And then you get the overall as well.
So what if you're that good, you could be lifting 4 trophies
you could be
for one competition. Really.
Technically, yeah, technically. So, very good stuff here for UQ, and they just keep winning.
But that's pretty much the sum of it, isn't it, mate?
It
It's
is. Can anyone chase them down?
Well, that's the thing. It's the same group of teams who are winning.
Exactly.
And I think UQ, they very much look like the team to beat.
Exactly.
Anyway, stepping up to the big boys, BBL, AB de Villiers. We spoke about him before, but what a match he played in.
Fantastic.
But he didn't necessarily win it, did he? He scored 40, chasing, 111?
Yeah.
But it was Pattinson.
It was Jimmy.
Wasn't
out of the test side. Coming in, getting a Michelle, getting a Pfeiffer.
What's a Michelle? Is that something
Michelle Pfeiffer.
I don't know.
The actor.
Oh, that's
Pfeiffer.
funny.
Yeah, it's good.
I like that.
Good content.
I play cricket most of my life, and I
Put that on a T-shirt.
I don't call it a Michelle.
It's a Michelle.
I never do that.
I'm going to start calling it a Michelle.
Yeah, they're great.
That's funny. But
it's cool.
I think the highlight...
I'll use that now.
No, you won't.
Oh.
The highlight of
it's copyrighted. It's copyrighted.
Put that on a T-shirt. The highlight of the match was Laylor's catch. Did you guys see it? It was like
poor Matt Short.
Was it the caught
and
bowl?
It was to Matt Short as well.
It was too.
Oh boy.
Yeah, caught and bowled, but he juggled it 15 times.
Yeah, but how about Matt Renshaw's catch from last week or the other day on the boundary?
Oh,
the Banton, the Renshaw Banton count. No, it did count. Matthew Wade.
Oh, that was rubbish.
Matthew
Wade.
Okay, I was watching that on the boat. On the TV. No, just at the bar.
He's giving up KO.
I know, I've heard.
Yeah.
He's trying to goat him into confessing why.
It's too much money. I was
those competitive prices? Not a sponsor.
I was at the bar on the cruise and sitting with
a
group of Heat fans
in your local habitat, the watering hole.
Yeah.
Didn't socialise, just sat at the bar.
Well, yeah, it was cheap spicy waters there.
They're not cheap on those cruise boats, mate.
It was about it was like $10 for a pint.
They were like $20 for a pint.
Absolute bargain.
It's like $300 for
Anyway, Gussie.
Yeah, so there was a big group of us Brisbane Heat fans, and we had no volume or commentary or subtitles to it, so we saw the picture.
Because the atmosphere was...
And you commentated it.
Great.
Yeah, I did. And we were pretty filthy, and we were all Brisbane Heat fans, and we were going, how is that out?
Are we talking about that Renshaw catch?
Yeah,
right?
that Renshaw catch.
It's a great catch. Against the Hobart Hurricanes.
Like, I've played cricket all my life, and that's always been 6 runs.
No. It has not.
Yeah, since 2013.
If you jump from
you
outside
from
the field
outside?
of play
okay,
and catch the ball, that has always been 6. When did that change?
I'm pretty sure it's 2013.
Is it just for T20? Because I feel like it's...
No.
I mean, no one's really done it till now.
I'm thinking of like the classic, like Glenn Maxwell's done it a few times, where like you go from the infield and then you have to toss it back up. But I know what you mean. He was outside and he jumped up and went like...
And tapped it. He's hitting it from... So technically, could he jump up and down and just hit it all the way out to the car park and then bring it all the way back into the field of play?
If he'd put it up and then like had to jump back up again and then tap it in.
I think it's silly. It kind of mars the whole catching scenario now, doesn't it?
But it's good skill though.
You can exploit it. Because I think
of how hard a 6 is fizzled out there and he's gone.
But I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently Renshaw didn't even think it was a catch.
No.
That's the rumour, but it's rule 19.5 of the... what's that law book? I don't know, some cricket law book, ICC cricket law book. Yeah. And it was brought in a few years ago, but still it's a bit of a joke, I think. And I think we saw it again, I think it was Sydney Sixers, Perth, something like that, one of those teams. Same catch, and it's players just having a laugh with it.
But I mean, what's the point in having boundary marks if it doesn't matter? You can just walk beyond them.
At the end of the day, it's entertainment for the fans. Let's be honest. It is an entertaining catch.
Anyway, I'd be pretty dirty if I was Matthew Wade.
No doubt.
If they're smart, put someone in the stands.
Yeah. Anyway, another big story from the week of BBL. Marcus Stoinis, 147 not out off 76 balls. The rig getting it done.
The oil rig.
I'm a bit concerned with how obsessed you are with Stoinis, mate.
Yeah,
he's
it's
a
bit concerning.
He's
not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it's hard to explain.
I just think you're addicted. But no, it was a great knock by the Stoin.
Addicted to the Stoin.
147 off
It's tough not to
76
be.
balls. That was the record, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
Best BBL knock.
it has to be one of the best T20 knocks, full stop, doesn't it?
Yeah.
yeah,
100%.
it's the
I can't-
highest ever BBL score.
No, but T20 full stop. Because I can't
Okay.
think of a T20 batsman who's bagged 150. There's Chris Gale
Didn't
probably
Aaron
did
Finch
it.
score about 180 against England?
He did.
Yeah,
He did.
Mm.
but that was on a dinky field, wasn't it?
Speaking
in
of
England?
that, while we're on the... Oh, we talking about... Oh, no, we're not. We're talking about that in a second. Don't worry.
No, go on.
Okay. Well, I was just going to talk about Oz-India ODI waking up to an excellent score.
Exactly. Well,
172. There you go. I knew it was
Yeah.
Aaron Finch.
Yeah.
Sorry. But Finch, very good in that game as well.
That's what made me think about it.
Yeah,
There you
well,
go.
him and David Warner, record opening partnership against India. What was it, 254, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they had 20 extras, so...
Yeah, but, I mean, that all counts to the partnership, I guess.
Does it?
Look, yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Must do.
I'll have to figure that out.
Mm.
But I think it does. Look, they didn't lose a wicket. They absolutely destroyed India. Virat Kohli wasn't very good.
Cocky.
He's just... I don't...
I know he's your captain, but you can't seriously like him as a player.
Yeah, but it's... I guess cricket's so big in India, that they just don't accept losing well. And
Oh,
he
they
came
don't
out
like it.
He came out and said something like, look, I'm allowed to bat at 4, I'm allowed to fail sometimes.
Yeah.
But can he
Mm.
in India?
Mm.
Actually, speaking about that, this is very random, but Dhoni, will he come out of retirement for the World Cup?
Nah, Rishabh
No.
Pant's a good keeper.
No, but he's not really taken off when it comes to the T20 scene.
Rashab is
He's a
quality.
good
They're
player.
not going to bring Dhoni back. Are you serious?
No, I don't think
I'd
India
like to
will.
see those,
I think Dhoni will.
What?
'Cause
Come back?
Again, the thing about India's cricketers in India is that they have so much pull and such a status as celebrities that, if he wants to play, he'll play.
Maybe.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's
I do
off
wanna-
topic.
I also-
Maybe they could use Dhoni now because they could use some of that specialty.
Yeah, I want to make a mention of what Kohli was saying pre-game. So, minus Labuschagne, of course, who's been in outstanding form. And India were talking pre-game about how to stop him. The answer, don't make him bat. Just don't take any wickets. That's pretty much what India did. So, Marnus didn't have to bat, and we got the win. So, India, your tactics, very good.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Well,
very good stuff from India.
Speaking about international cricket, did you guys see the ICC Men's Test Team of the Year?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty
Finn,
of Aussies
you haven't
in
seen
there.
it yet. There are
Neil,
plenty of
Neil
Aussies.
Wagner's in there.
Really?
Yeah, so
Yes.
is
Well, there's
keeper
130 kilometre-
BJ Watling's
There's
in it.
throwdowns.
And Latham as
Really?
well.
Tom Latham's in it.
Latham's in there,
Oh, no.
even though he's average.
And again, I'm a Kiwi, and I don't agree with that.
Like
Well,
Kohli's in
technically
there.
he has, since 2017, I think it was, he has been the best opening batsman.
Yeah.
But I think these last kind of few tests have kind of marred his reputation.
Well, I just don't get it, mate, because whenever I watch him, he's terrible.
Yeah, well, Matt Labuschagne got in at 3.
Lasagna.
Kohli's in at 4.
That's pretty amazing that he got into that side.
Oh, yeah.
Considering he came in at in the Ashes.
Midway through the Ashes.
Midway-
Yes. Joffrey Archer, thank you.
Joffrey.
So that was back in August or July, was it? But that's-
July.
Like
No,
he's
later.
had half a
No,
year.
earlier than that.
It's like November.
Was it? No.
He's had half.
Sure.
He's had half a year to get
Mm.
into this side, and he's done it.
Well,
Yeah, well, he's been incredible.
it must have only been, 8 matches?
Averages more than Steve Smith now.
Yeah, to be fair, it was against Pakistan, New Zealand.
Mm, yeah.
Let's see how he goes against New Zealand.
Yeah, well, Steve Smith is in that team at 5. Ben Stokes made the team as well as the only Englishman.
He's a good.
I've
Should
previously
be in
mentioned
jail.
BJ Watling. Pat Cummins, who won the
Test player of the
Test
year.
Player of the Year as well.
Look, well deserved,
Mitch
man.
Stark and the GOAT, Gazza. Five Aussies, the most out of any nation.
Well, the
Why are we
bowling-
not number 1?
I think if there's anyone else who's going to step up as a captain now, it's Cummins.
yeah.
Mm.
Like, he can bat, he can bowl, and he just seems like a good bloke. I think
Yeah.
we said this last week.
He's the golden child of Australian cricket.
Yeah, but it's how he comes across in his interviews. As journalists,
Yeah.
we like that. But
Mhm.
he comes across as very talkative, very approachable.
Also,
He does.
Australia is up to number 2nd in the Test rankings.
Up to number second.
Yeah, they
Up
were
to
in
number
5th.
Up to second, maybe?
Up to what did I say? Up
Up to number
sec-
2nd.
Up to 2nd, whatever.
There we go.
Um,
and we're
they're
we're
up
off.
to number 2. So yeah, that's really good stuff. I mean, this summer's been outstanding. They haven't lost for a long time, so it's good stuff from the Aussies.
Certainly is. Speaking
Anyway.
of Australia, let's get into A-League, mate.
Stuff close to home, you're right, Campbell.
Mm.
I alluded to this earlier, but one of the games in A-League history, if not the game, Central Coast Mariners hosting the Melbourne Victory. It's 2-1. Let me set the scene for you, Campbell.
I've closed my eyes.
Close your eyes.
I'm
and
waiting.
For all you people at home, do the same. Close your eyes. It's 2-1. Central Coast. Losing. Looking like they're heading for another loss. Penalty. Stoppage time starts. Penalty Mariners. Matt Simon slots it straight down the middle. 2-2.
I can see.
Minutes pass. 96th. 97th. Another penalty. Matt Simon steps up again. Slots it.
I'm sorry. 10
3-2.
minutes of stoppage time?
Yeah.
What the hell? Yeah.
They had so much stoppage time.
Someone did an ankle.
4 minutes added time.
Yeah.
But it went to the 100th minute. So I think Matt Simon's goal was something like the latest goal in A-League history.
Yeah.
In regular time, obviously.
Yeah,
But-
well,
Did old mates watch break or something like that?
No, I
because
think...
there was like...
Well, he got a penalty.
The penalties, and I think they both went to
take
VAR.
time.
And Kurtz, the coach who got sacked, we mentioned him before.
He got a red card, yeah.
He finished his career with a send-off.
In style.
In style, mate. Go out with a bang, mate.
How about that?
Take a bow.
Yeah.
Take a bow.
Son.
No, but that was great. And there's a bit of a argy-bargy from the Victory faithful. There at the
Bit of
sidelines.
extras.
Yeah, and the tomato sauce got a bit into it, I think.
Oh no, with the mustard.
I actually love that. I think
I love it.
that's
It's great.
peak A-League.
It is absolutely
peak
peak A-League.
A-League.
Having some Master Foods bottles walking around.
Because no one really knows why they're there.
No, I think they're just the sponsor, and they go, you know what? Chuck them on. Speaking of Central Coast, I believe Sam Silvera is linked with a move. He's only scored 1 goal in like 11 games or something like that, but he is looking promising. He is only 19. Boys, he's younger than all of us, so that's kind of...
Makes you think.
It's
does
demoralising.
make you think. But he's had a trial with, I think, LAFC. So he was named
Galaxy?
in the No, LAFC, new team.
No, the new one.
Yeah,
side,
new
is
team,
it?
yeah.
like into
No, I
something.
think that's Miami.
Into
FC.
Miami.
Yeah, into Miami. Or maybe LAFC is Beckham's team. But no, he was... they took a photo of their pre-season trial list, and it had Sam Silvera, 19, former club, Central Coast Mariners from Sydney, So congratulations to him. Hopefully he can tear it up in the A-League. Hope so. Oh,
He's
not the A-League, in the
mate.
MLS. Sorry.
Which, I guess MLS, it's quite a similar market to
It's quite similar.
Australia in terms of football
Much better though.
fandom, so to speak.
Mm.
But yeah, obviously they have the lure of we're America.
Well, he's not the
Moolah,
only...
baby, moolah.
He's not the only Australian going overseas. Haley Rasso, of course.
Off to the Toffees.
Yeah, for Everton.
That's pretty recent news too, but that's an awesome move. It's good to see, I guess, the women in Australia, the Matildas, get that break, because it's quite a good league over there. It's a good standard.
She's joining Sam Kerr, of course, who's
She-
playing for Chelsea.
She's at
Chelsea,
Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two
Love
blue
Chelsea
sides.
as well. so
Anyway,
that's good.
Sam Kerr's old club, Perth Glory, getting the win over Adelaide United 3-0. Thoughts on that result, gents?
Dominant.
Very dominant.
Adelaide United, they're not looking good at the moment.
No.
I mean, Perth Glory, they took their chances and Adelaide didn't.
Well,
I think Adelaide had more shots and more shots on target as well, or similar. But Perth they scored 3 of 7.
It was quite even from memory from the first about 20 minutes, and
Yeah.
then Perth just scored one, not out of nowhere, but against the run of play, like a bit, and just went away from there.
They only had
So,
37% of the ball.
There you go.
Perth,
But
so-
they just look like a team who knows how to win,
Yeah.
and winning is a habit, as they say. And man, no one can stop them. I don't
Nah.
think. Well, not on the race for the top 4. I think.
Someone who got a big 1 point though this week.
How about that?
Braden.
Yeah.
Kingman.
The boy,
That's
the Scotsman.
that's a great performance by him. 2 goals. That's Brisbane Roar starting their home season at Suncorp Stadium with a 2-2 draw against Melbourne City. That's an important win, because if you lose that, you start to lose, I guess, track with the top 6.
They've been good against the victory. It was against City. Good against City this year.
Yeah, they've only played once before, and that was that miracle at Redcliffe.
That's what they're calling it now.
Basically, yeah.
You've coined it.
Get that on a T-shirt.
Redcliffe Redemption.
Remember how we were talking about it a few weeks ago, what the Brisbane Roar needed for Christmas?
Was a striker.
A striker. I think they've found it here in Brad Inman. Or Braden Inman.
Braden,
yeah.
Braden Inman?
Yeah, that's
Anyway.
correct.
But he's scored now 4 goals in 3 games for him.
He's doing very well.
Where was he at the start of the year? That's all I
He
can
was
say.
over in England.
No, he was with the
here?
Raw.
Was he injured?
Played a bit during pre-season. He was kind of like benched a bit.
Yeah.
But Robbie Fowler said post-match on Fox Sports that
He can be anything he wants.
he said that, but he basically said, look, it's tough love. It's the old school way, but maybe we had to bench him to see him get to where he is now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Robbie Fowler, maybe he is a master coach because he's showing it a little bit. Anyway, the other result, we'll skip that one because I want to talk about the Phoenix in a second, but Newcastle Jets nearly getting it done against Sydney FC.
Yeah.
1-2 at home.
I mean, you sort of knew this was going to happen. Sydney FC haven't looked like losing.
That was kind of
all
best.
year.
I think that was best case scenario for the Jets.
Yeah, not getting smashed.
Not getting smashed, losing by a respectable margin.
Yeah.
But they look like a
Scored.
team. They look like a team who were just kind of waiting for the season to end.
Mm.
Anyway, let's talk about it.
Mhm.
10 in a row. Is it 10 in a row? I think
9
it is.
in a row.
9
9
in
in
a
a
row.
row.
Oh, it's 10 this week.
Yeah.
No, we'll see. We'll see. Wellington Phoenix 2-0 over Western Sydney Wanderers.
Mhm.
Man, they look good.
They do look good.
If you watch them play, they look like a team who just plays like complete football.
Mm.
And that's something that Wellington in years gone by just haven't done. So it's dangerous for the league, and it's dangerous for, I guess, the Raw, who are, of course, playing them this week. Something worth mentioning as well, NPL Queensland Select playing the Brisbane Raw Legends before as the curtain raiser to this week's match. That's supporting rural aid for the bushfire relief. So
Mhm.
get down for that. Some pretty good legends lined up for the Raw already. Matty Mackay. Hey, thoughts on that?
Look,
Serious?
Who?
Matty Mackay.
Yeah. No, it'll be cool to see him play again. The grammar boy.
That's a disappointing reception from you two. But anyway.
The,
Well,
the man with the
he's
shirt
not-
tucked in.
look, he's not
Yeah.
he's not my favourite player.
No, he's not, but what he did for that club, he's a reminder of the glory years, isn't he?
Yeah.
I
I used to
guess.
really like him when he was at Brisbane Raw. But he's actually an also former striker player. So.
Oh.
Is he actually?
Mhm.
Wow.
There
Okay.
you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fun fact from Campbell.
Exactly, thank you. I'm full of fun facts. Another fun fact,
I'm
and this
just-
one's for you, Wellington, mate. Liberatoro Kakachi, you know, the fullback, left back.
Yep.
He's potentially following in Sapreet Singh's footsteps
Ooh,
and potentially
Bayern.
going to, not to Bayern, but to Germany in the
I
top
read
flight
that.
potentially.
I read that. Thanks, Google.
No problem. I did read it actually earlier this week and just reminded it me.
No,
So,
that's great. Like we said, Brisbane Raw playing Wellington Phoenix at Suncorp Stadium on Saturday, kicking off at 4 p.m. Legends match at 2:10, so get down for that. Adelaide United play the Victory. City host the Jets. Western United get back in action against the Mariners and the Wanderers. Can they get that eluding win against Perth Glory, who are very much in form, so I doubt that.
Yep, I doubt it as well.
oh yeah. Anyway, let's move on to some ABL. So this week we outlined a few games as our games to watch. Also, if you're a fan of the ABL, if you want to hear some content, I actually did an extra time by myself, cheeky little plug.
Oh, look out!
With the Auckland Tuatara catalyst, if you will, Andrew Pinky Mark. That was really interesting with him. But his game was one of the ones that we highlighted. They played the Sydney Blue Sox, a divisional game, and they won the series 3-1. And I saw...
Yes, they did.
They did.
Yes, they did,
It was
Campbell.
It was huge. I saw head coach Steve Mintz say that they've earned respect that they didn't have last year, which I cannot agree more with. They're currently leading the charge in the playoff push. They won the series 3-1, and especially a decisive final game of the series, 16-2. We also outlined Adelaide Giants and Perth Heat in Perth, and that was again Adelaide Giants coming out with the big win across the series. Not too many
Couple close games.
very
Oh,
close
yeah.
games throughout the whole
Maybe
whole series.
Closer to home, the Bandits.
Closer to home, the Bandits. The Bandits played the Canberra Cavalry. It was.
And you went.
I went to the final game, so the Bandits were heading into that final game after 3 wins series. So great opportunity to get a few wins and get themselves in a good position to get better and make in the hunt for that kind of wild card position.
But the rain wouldn't stay away.
The rain wouldn't stay away. They played, I think, 4 innings.
Yep.
And then the rain came down. I don't know what they ended up doing with it, actually. I believe they ended up... Well, let's have a look, actually.
Maybe it's something about you going to Holloway Park, mate,
I
because
know.
that's the second time this season you've gone.
Yep.
The first time we went,
Mhm.
all of us went,
Mm.
the match was shortened to
Yes,
7 innings
it was.
because of the rain. So
was.
maybe the rain should stay away. Maybe you should as well.
Well, they were losing before I left. And you know what? They won after that. So,
Oh.
Again, Campbell,
There you
you've
go.
got to bite back, mate. Otherwise, it's bullying. So
I'm just going to take it now. I'm just going to take it. But
the new Gussie.
some
No,
really...
not
no,
quite, mate.
No,
Okay.
no way. Don't you dare.
Why did I even try?
Yeah, you shouldn't. Go sit in the corner.
and that
mate.
was another terrible joke by Angus Bryan.
Terrible. You can see more of that nowhere else.
Gussie, you're a poor man's Campbell.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Everything went
Oh.
quiet. Again, that's
You
bullying.
are, you are
Oh.
punching seriously below the belt now, mate.
Now that's just insulting, all right?
That's just insulting. Let's not reference your hairline.
oh, yeah.
Talk-
The Perth Heat are playing the Geelong Korea. Adelaide Giants playing Melbourne Aces.
Who did that Tatara beat this week, mate?
They'll be beating Canberra Cavalry convincingly. I reckon they'll sweep them. That's my prediction.
Mate, if they do, they've pretty much locked in a playoff spot, right?
They've pretty much already locked it in.
Yeah.
Sydney Blue Sox will play the Brisbane Bandits.
That'll be
Hopefully
interesting.
That'll be a really interesting one.
Yeah.
That one is probably, I would say, that kind of hunt for that wild card spot.
I think didn't they draw the last series they played against each other?
Yes, they did.
So,
they did
yeah.
indeed. So currently, as it sits, the Sydney Blue Sox and the Brisbane Bandits are in the hunt for that kind of wildcard game. Cavalry and Perth Heat are already there, so that could go either way. I mean, it's anyone's taking for that wildcard spot, really.
It's anyone's game, mate. Who wants it more?
Who wants it more? Currently, it looks like Perth Heat will be in the game, which is crazy with 18 wins. So the Southwest has been really dominant this year, I guess. Or the whole competition really has been dominant there. Adelaide, the first semi-final, currently, this is how the playoffs are sitting at the moment. That wild card winner will go into semi-final 1 against the Adelaide Giants, who are leading the league with 21 wins and 11 losses. I'll check if that's still the case. Yes, that's how it's predicted to end up. And then it'll be, so obviously wildcard winner versus that one. Whoever goes through that gets to the final. And that semi-final 2 will be your Auckland Tatara at the moment, as it sits, versus the Melbourne Aces.
Wait, when's the final? So when did they lift that trophy?
When do they lift that trophy? The ABLCS is February 7th to 9th, so soon.
Wow, really
Very soon. 29th of January sees the wild card. So we're really getting the squeaky bum time into Fergie time here, boys. So
Just have a way with words.
Thank you, mate. I really do. So it's really getting to the tail end of the season, and it'll be cool to see how it kind of tails off.
Tail end of the season, mate, and sadly, tail end of episode 25. Thanks for joining
It's a sad one.
me again, gents. If you haven't already, make sure you like and follow us on our social medias. So that's on Instagram at _Beyond the Sidelines _ and on Facebook at Beyond the Sidelines. Make sure you tell your friends too. Why not?
Tell them.
It's not going to do any harm.
Yeah.
I'd tell my friends, but
You tell one person.
You don't have any.
you tell one. They tell 2 friends. They tell 2 friends.
And on. Anyway,
God,
also
I love
listen
Wayne's
to...
World.
Oh, it's the best.
And let's talk about you again. Make sure you listen to Campbell's episode.
No, listen to all the extra time episodes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really,
tell us how you're
really
feeling.
good. Who's doing the next one, by the way?
Don't know yet.
Oh,
We haven't really
Wait
decided
and
that.
see.
A little bit of mystery.
So we'll have to find out.
Thanks again to Matt Leo, though.
Yeah, that was great interview. But gents, we're going to wrap that up because the bed show's just starting. So
I've got to run.